Welcome back to the Us vs. Them channel. I'm your host, Vince, and we're going to break down the next fight for the fight night this coming weekend, the UFC Perth. The fight we're breaking down for this video, we got Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. Mullarkey's sitting at this is a pick'em fight, and the odds reflect that, and my research reflects that. But right now, Mullarkey's at a -115, and Bedoya is at a -111. Mullarkey's a decent boxer. I mean, you guys probably already know this if you're watching my shit. But he has a nice jab. He also mixes in leg kicks really well, and he'll mix in kicks to the body. But one thing that we all probably know about Mullarkey, especially watching his last few fights, is how hittable he is. And when he does get hit, his nose gets fucked up. He's got scar tissue on his head, and he's developing a glass chin, unfortunately for him. I mean, he's got knocked out in 3 of his last 4 fights. His most recent win, he didn't look super great, to be honest with you, and he got knocked down on that fight too. So the durability is a big concern for Mullarkey. Mullarkey can be really defensively sound, which is, I know, crazy to say out loud, given the fact that he gets knocked out kind of regularly. But he just has moments in his fighting where it seems like he's just not concentrating as much as he should, or I'm not sure exactly what. But he's defensively sound, he rolls his punches well, he blocks punches really well. But it's usually when he's lunging in or when he throws something and he stays in range too long and he gets countered. That's when we've seen him get in trouble in the last 3 times he's been knocked out. When he got knocked out against Rufi, Hackbrass, and against Naimov. All those guys hit pretty fucking hard though. So this is going to be a step down in competition this weekend against Bedoya. Bedoya has a similar style of fighting, to be honest with you, as Mullarkey. They both really like to... They have kind of a measured approach. They go in for 1 or 2 strikes and then come out. They both, if they're going strikes to the head, it's almost exclusively with their hands. And if it's body or legs, or obviously leg shots, it's almost exclusively with their legs. It's kicking. So the pacing in their fight and the way that they strike is very similar. Bedoya also mixes in nice leg kicks throughout the fight. That's something Mullarkey does as well. I expect a lot of leg kicks being thrown in this fight. Don't really know who has the advantage, to be honest with you, when it comes to the leg kick game. I think they're both going to send kicks out there, and whatever happens, happens, to be honest with you. Something important to note is this is Bedoya's second fight at 155. He spent most of his career in the welterweight division at 170. His first 2 fights are in the UFC are at 170. His last fight against Jai Herbert was his first time at 155 since he was on the regional scene. The biggest difference between 155 and 170 is the speed advantage, honestly. They're the speed difference. I think the dudes at 155 are noticeably faster than the guys at 170. I could imagine that it would make a big difference when that person's standing in front of you versus us just watching on the camera or watching on our TVs, you know. So the speed difference is kind of what got him in trouble. His last fight against Jai Herbert, he fought okay for the most part in that fight, but it was the speed difference that really was the killer. For my official prediction, I've been going back and forth on this one. YouTube, MMA YouTube guys have been going back and forth on this one too. They're pretty split. A lot of people are favoring Mullarkey, and I actually wrote down that I'm going with Mullarkey up until me recording this video, and I'm going to go with Rolando Bedoya. I do think the difference maker in this fight is going to be the toughness, or not the toughness, they're both tough, but it's the durability of Bedoya. He's never been knocked out before. Mullarkey's been knocked out 6 times. I appreciate the fact that Mullarkey's taken like 1.5 years off since his Rufi knockout to give his chin and his head some time to recover. But in fighting, you don't get your chin back once it starts going. That's just the reality. Nobody just all of a sudden just takes enough time off and they just get their chin back. It's just not how it works. You start taking that damage to your brain and it stays with your brain, unfortunately. So I think the biggest difference maker for Mullarkey to win is going to be the speed advantage. Potentially that he'll have, and his jab, if he has a nice active jab out there. But if it gets a little bit dirty, it's going to start favoring Bedoya. I fully expect him to come into this fight fighting a dirtier style, just knowing that that's going to be his path to victory. So I'm going to go with Rolando Bedoya, and I'm going to say decision win. I'm going to go with Bedoya by decision. That's all I got for this breakdown. Stay tuned for our next breakdown. We'll have Jonathan Mikulev versus Oban Elliott. I'm really excited to break that one down. We're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of this card, the really good fights. So I'm excited to continue to break those down and give you my best picks to the best of my knowledge. So I'll see you then, fuckers.